Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolfe Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? I remember the first day I discovered my own personal adult playground, the Dollar Tree. It was the day I saw this sign, ribeye steaks for $1. Before that day, I had never been in a Dollar Tree store, but I figured even if it's a bad steak, it's a decent deal. That was until I opened it up, cooked it, and tried it. That was when I realized the Dollar Tree sells awful food that is no bargain and it's not good for us. Well, most of it anyway. That's why I do these videos, for you, the people, to show you exactly what we're eating. I'm a glutton for punishment, and on my next trip to the Dollar Tree, I found these bone-in pork loin chops, again, for $1. These turned out to be not nearly as bad as the ribeyes. Definitely edible, but still highly processed and not a bargain. As the days went by, I tried their 2 quarter-pound burgers, again, for $1. So I figured that's not really a bad deal. But I was entirely let down on these. It wasn't the fact that they had beef hearts in them, but the fact was, they're awful. Then I was unfortunate enough to find Chef Pierre's boneless pork riblets, which almost brought this whole What Are We Eating series to a screeching halt. It was bad enough I had to eat these, but after researching a little, this company supplies meats, and I use that term loosely, to public school systems. But I couldn't and wouldn't let Chef Pierre ruin the What Are We Eating series. Because I owe it to you, the people, to show us all exactly what we're eating. My most recent find at the Dollar Tree are these ready-to-cook 6-ounce mesquite flavored pork loin riblets, brought to us by Pleasant Prairie Packing. And they obviously cost $1, because everything costs $1 at the Dollar Tree, if you didn't already know. But the name Pleasant Prairie sounds like the name of a cemetery. I wonder if that's a secret warning to not eat these. Regardless, I do these videos for you, the people, and nothing's gonna stop me. It looks as though the meat is in some sort of sauce or marinade, which makes sense since it's ready to cook, which means it's raw. That also means the mesquite flavor is not from smoke wood, which I'm normally not a fan of. This is actually real meat, no TVP here, and I'm very surprised to see there's only a 3% solution added, which is lower than the amount that some other big brands use. You're gonna have to look real close at the fine print. One is as high as 25% solution added. But then there's salt, seasonings, and a lot of different types of sodium. There's only 1 serving in the package, and per serving, there's 380 calories, 27 grams of total fat, 10 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 115 milligrams of cholesterol, 190 milligrams of sodium, which I'm very surprised and impressed it's so low. Then there's no carbohydrates, no fiber, no sugars, and 32 grams of protein. They do have a pretty long best by date, so you can stock up on these if they're any good. To cook these, you obviously have to take them out of the wrapper, then place them into foil, wrap up, and bake in a 300-degree oven for 1 hour to 1.5 hours, which surprised me, and it also gave me hope that this may be real food. Overly processed foods never take that long to cook. Then grill and sauce the riblets with your favorite barbecue sauce. So let's get these open, out of the package, and see what we're in for. These are about 95% thawed. I figured they'll finish thawing by the time I'm finished filming. When I pulled them out onto the foil, I expected a lot of liquid to pour out, but that wasn't the case at all. And there's actually bones in them, which tells me they're not farm riblets like Chef Pierre's. I'm starting to get my hopes up for these. I hope I don't jinx myself. After wrapping up the riblets, they go into a preheated 300-degree oven for 1 to 1.5 hours. After an hour and 20 minutes, this is what they look like. And again, not a lot of excess water. It just looks like regular pork I've cooked. I wanted to try one before saucing and grilling, so I cut off a riblet. I really thought these would be mushy, but the texture was nice. A little firm, but tender. The flavor wasn't spectacular, but it was decent. Not too bad at all. And they were moist and tender. Picture pork cooked in a crock pot, and you basically have these. And there's a clean bone for you. So now let's get these grilled and sauced. Which I'm not going to spend the time or charcoal to grill them. I'm just going to put them underneath the broiler until the sauce is caramelized. And here's the finished riblets after 4 minutes under the broiler, and they look and smell pretty darn good if I may say so myself. So I cut off a riblet and it looks like a normal riblet. Maybe not as meaty as a normal riblet, but still it looked normal. I apologize for my camera not focusing, but take my word for it, it looked pretty good. And the riblet was good. I mean, pretty darn good. Not fall off the bone tender, but definitely tender enough for a toothless person to suck off all the meat with ease. That first piece I tried was off the thin end of the first rack. So I tried a thicker piece from the other rack, and it was equally moist and tender. But as you can see, they're not fork tender, but that's not a bad thing with me. These are definitely no bargain though, at 6 ounces for $1, which equates to $2.67 a pound, which isn't really a ridiculous price, but I can get fresh pork all day, every day for under $2 a pound. With all of this being considered, these riblets impressed me for what they are, so I'm going to give them a strong, are you ready for this? 7 out of 10. But I wouldn't buy them again, as I think fresh pork is better and just as convenient. I wouldn't really recommend you buy these either, but I don't think you'd be really disappointed if you did. If you'd like to help support the Wolfe Pit, please consider being a patron. You can pledge as little as $1 a month, that's only $12 for the whole year. Or you can pledge more, that's up to you. Either way, every little bit's appreciated and helps me produce more high quality videos more often for you, the people. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.